Okay, guys, this is something that I heard about a few days ago, but I wanted to let it percolate through the internet a little bit and see what was being said about it. However, you may not be aware of this, but the U.S. government is planning to spy on gamers that through Roblox, Discord, Reddit, all kinds of other things. According to this PCGamer.com report, Biden administration describes domestic terrorism as the most urgent terrorism threat facing the United States. A newly published U.S. government accountability report looks at the role of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Homeland Security that can't even keep our southern border secure, guys, in combating, oh God, domestic violent extremism online, and in the process reveals what we surely all knew anyway. Discord, Reddit, Roblox, all your base are belonging to the Fed. The GAO report, first picked up by The Intercept, is more wide ranging than just gaming, but it's essentially focused on online communication platforms of all sorts, how U.S. government and law enforcement agencies interact with them, and what the companies themselves should be doing about extreme content. The report is based on interviews with 5 companies that have been coordinating with the FBI and DHS, Roblox, Discord, Reddit, plus one gaming publisher and one social media company. We can probably guess which two those are, that asked to remain anonymous. Insert your guesses here. Well, shall we? Let me know in the comments below if you think you know who those might be. Anyway, the article continues to go on, and I quote, "The nature of this cooperation when it comes to the gaming companies is essentially that the DHS holds meetings at which they share information, quote, about online activities promoting domestic violent extremism, end quote, or even stuff that violates their terms of service." Well, as if that doesn't happen on a daily basis anyway. Anyway, the companies provide leads on anything that may be potentially illegal, and the FBI follows up. Well, it'd be nice if they would do that for people that report stalking or, people that report bullying or, things like that, the things that really go undealt with, but they want to anyway. Okay, in addition to this, Discord and Roblox have a trusted flagger program through which approved subject matter experts in extremism can use a streamlined channel to report potentially violating content. Okay, well, who are these experts anyway? Where are they? Where's the transparency? Why don't we get to ask them questions? Anyway, we'll get into the weeds of what the government thinks such content may include, but the report offers some examples. Or, I'm sorry, yeah. Research, and I quote, researchers have identified user generated recreations of mass shootings. Okay, that's understandable. On the gaming platform Roblox, such as the 2019 shooting in Christchurch, New Zealand, and the 2022 shooting in Buffalo, New York. Now, okay, I don't care who you are or what you think. That is just wrong. I mean, people doing these recreations, this is something that I would not, condone in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Those people are just sick and don't need to be on the platform anyway. All right, moving on. Roblox officials told us in their moderation team reviewed. Wait a minute. Did I read that? Told us their moderation team reviewed their content moderation tools and adjusted them to block these games to prevent glorifying violent incidents from appearing on the platform. Well, that's good. At least they are doing something about those. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of them, and like I said, there's no shortage of sick people in the world, even on these platforms. That some of them are targeted for, people that are underage. Anyway, recreations of real world mass shootings and on a platform with a huge young audience are one thing, but what may worry some is how vague and potentially overreaching the U.S. government is about what may constitute domestic violent extremism. Well, that's true because, there are some people that they do create content that's more on the violent side, but it's, there is a genre for that. However, that's kind of to each their own kind of thing. But since 2019, it has defined 5 types of domestic terrorism threat: radically motivated extremism, anti-government, anti-authority extremism, animal rights and environmental extremism, really, abortion-related extremism. Okay, yeah, that's understandable with what happened lately with all that and is still going on. Then the catch-all of any other domestic terror threats. Okay, well, all of those seem like they're pretty good things to be watching out for, of course. But once again, as a lot of people are worried about, well, what is their definition of those things? Okay. The article goes on to say these categories are so broad that people may rightly wonder where the line is between responsible intervention, yeah, such as the Roblox examples, and the potential for big brother overreach. Oh, like they, as if they don't do that already. When someone is having a more normal one online about how much they hate the government or the repeal of Roe versus Wade. Well, that perspective, I could see where the government, look at what they did with Facebook and conservatives, and, if you didn't agree with whatever was going on with COVID, or you tried to expose some things that were fact, they kind of buried your posts and all that. They shadow banned a lot of people on YouTube for the same thing and so forth and all that. Anyway, let's get through the article here. Okay, continuing on, to give the report its due, it does acknowledge the big unanswered questions about the friction between the above Americans' free speech rights, which, as I said, there's questions about that, but it's not like the FBI is known for its nuanced approach towards potential extremists. This is true. Look at what they did and said about all those parents that were standing up for their rights in town hall meetings with schools and things like that. Anyway. All right. In recent decades, it's been behind some shocking lapses and some botched schemes. Well, yeah, it's the government. What do you expect? And been accused of entrapment of suspects multiple times and probably found guilty. Nevertheless, this is not going to go away. The GAO was asked to investigate domestic violent extremist use of related platforms and social media by the House Homeland Security Committee, and it follows congressional pressure being applied to various major gaming publishers early last year. Well, I could see where, some people would be pushing for this, because there are some games that could be misconstrued in that way, or there are some creators that, okay, and I'm not saying, some people don't get recruited or turned or what have you through games. That there are cases of that happening in the past where people have been radicalized or what have you through the various groups and things in the games that they get into because, hey, sometimes it does happen. However, all right, let's go. This all arguably, okay, the article continues here. This all arguably stems from the storming of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2001. Now, it was not an insurrection. I don't care what anybody else says. That was a riot, not an insurrection, not even close. If you want to see an example of an insurrection, January 4th, 1776 was, in fact, an insurrection. Anyway, all right, this all all right, by supporters from former Donald Trump, an event which saw then incoming Biden administration swiftly designate domestic terrorism as the most urgent terrorism threat facing the United States. Once in office, and create the first nationwide strategy for combating it. In this strategy, the United States government specifically cites online gaming platforms. Oh, brother. Like, they don't have anything better to do, like secure the frickin' southern border as one of the kinds of places where recruiting and mobilizing individuals to domestic terrorism occurs. Well, look at what you idiots are doing. Instead of going after the people we need to be, okay, Mr. President, how about the name Laken Riley? You couldn't even say it after looking at her button, right? No more than a foot away from your face, and you still got it wrong. Then you had the audacity to apologize for calling The illegal alien that killed her in illegal. You, buddy boy, have some brass fucking balls. Anyway, this report was commissioned in order to make the recommendations, and generally speaking, it spells out what U.S. authorities are currently doing and what they should be doing in the future. It ends by saying both the FBI and the DHS's Intelligence and Analysis Division should develop their own quote-unquote strategy and goals for sharing information related to domestic violent extremism with social media and gaming companies, end quote. In civilian speak, that means by this summer. Yeah, I think this is supposed to take effect in June or July, from what I've been hearing about it, but it's kind of sketchy as to when. It's sometime this summer. We'll just say June or July. They will be issuing their own forward-looking plans for coordinating with gaming and gaming-related platforms, and basically telling the publishers what they want to see. Meantime, enjoy Roblox. Just maybe save the venting about climate change for Discord. Oh, wait. Probably not a good idea. All right. Well, in conclusion, guys, I just wanted to put this out here real quick, make a quick video about it, let everybody know what was going on, that I'd heard about it, and, you know, what? Well, and Melanie says her Discord theories turned out not to be conspiracies. But anyway, no matter how you feel about this, I don't think the federal government should be snooping around in our gaming. I don't think they should be snooping around in our social media the way they are. You know, look, you've got more important things to deal with. Look at all the people that are coming across the border because you want more voters and things like that. Get the border under control before you worry about things like this. The game companies that have these systems in place know what the hell they're doing. They put them in place for a reason. You know, we don't need the government hand in everything that we do. And I'm here to tell you, people are getting really upset about it and tired of it. So everybody, make sure you vote. That is the one way that your voice can stand out and make a difference. You know, we can speak out all we want on social media and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, what really counts is your vote. So vote your conscience. If you're in support of the Democrats or not, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is vote your conscience and make sure you do get out to vote. You know, because really you can't say anything if you don't try to make a change that you see as worth making. So, the moral of the story is I don't think any of this stuff is really a top priority for the federal government. They shouldn't be messing around with our games. They need to be focused on, you know, the more important things that are driving this country into the ground, like the immigration situation and everything else that follows that. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. People might not like this video. They might. I don't know. But it is what it is. And with that, I will let it go where it goes. All right, guys. We will see everybody later. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.